Okay guys, gonna have a look here now at question 3 here. Now just looking, it's 80 wide, 60 high and about 45 high. So it's more or less like 80, 60, 40 more or less for the purposes of our freehand sketch. We'll keep that in mind. So again there, just before I start the sketching there, we're gonna create it. I think chop off these corners and take those cuts down, and I think we'll just leave this cut in the center then until last. I think that would be my strategy for doing this anyway. So just set that up there now. So I'll just try and leave this camera where we can see both. So I said it was roughly 80 in this direction, so we're going to start off with our crow's foot. So that's about, so it needs to be twice, whatever it is this way, it needs to be twice, okay, because sorry, it's 60 in this direction, 80 in this direction. So say 60 in this direction, it needs to be about a bit more than half of that, then would be about 40. So just sort of 45. So this is roughly our crease. Okay, so that's roughly our crease for doing this. So there's a block going up 1/3 here, so I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to take this line then up 1/3 here. So that is that edge running along there, and I'm going to do this then on the top. So halfway back, this is back 30, which is halfway. Now okay, what I'm going to try and do here now is this goes 20, 12, 16, 12, 20. So 20 is a quarter of 80. So I want to go on top here a quarter in. So if I just get roughly the middle of this, which is half, I'm going to put a dot there, and I'm going to have that again. So that's a quarter, and that's a quarter. So those 4 dots there are roughly quarters, and the middle of the way is back here. This is that line here, and I'm going to do the same, I think, here now at the other side. That is going from the middle, a dot in the middle here, and I'm going to just heavy in the rest of the top of this. Okay, now the step now that's going back here, I'm going to take this back parallel, and this comes down vertically, and this one over here also comes down vertically, and I can join them and I will just heavy in then these. Okay, so we now have if I just zoom back in here for a second, we have this end done, we have this cut taken out of here. Now I want to deal with this cut back here at the other end next, and we leave that trench sloping down there until last. Okay, so I'm just going to take out this comes down vertically, and then it's heavy over to here, and what happens here then is this just disappears back here parallel to that, and I can now heavy in as well. I think all this bottom line along here. Okay, so we now have everything pretty much done except for this. Now the trench that's going along here, cut out of this here, is 16 in the middle there. So basically we've got, it's a small bit narrower, like we are just guessing here now, so it's a small bit narrower than the step here, which is 20. It's a little bit. So what I'm going to do there now is I'm going to find the center of the back here. So this is the middle of the back. Just put a dot there, and we want to be, and this is the middle of the front, so when I come down here, that's the middle here. Now I want to go, just take a guess here, 2 equal distances there about to either side, and I'm doing the same above here. I want to put 2 dots either side of this so that they're roughly the same. Now I'm going so that whatever size this is, that is the same. So then this comes up heavy, and this one comes up heavy. And I'm going to fill in this . So I've done that sort of a, it's not an E or an F, but I've done that front face there that has this here. So that's all done. So now what to do next? I'm going to get this angle, and I'm going to take this back. And I'm going to take that one back. And I'm going to heavy these in. So now, now I normally would say let's do this freehand, but I would forgive people now if you wanted to, in that you could, because that's a bit difficult now for second years a bit. You could get the line there and go over it freehand, or because that's a difficult sketch there. So that's our shape. I will remove some of the creating lines here. Now what's a nice thing to do though, when you're getting rid of the creasing lines is you could just leave the corners so that, see that corner there, you could just leave that there and leave this here just so that me or whoever is looking at it will know that you used creasing. So our next thing there, we're going to just put a surface on the ground again, and we're back to our colouring. Okay guys, I'm just finishing off the colouring of this here. I didn't, there's a lot of surfaces on this now, so I didn't overdo it with colours, so okay, I'm just gonna go a little, lid is broken here, 1 second. So I'm going to just heavy in the edges there a little bit more. Just go a tiny bit darker along by the edges there and just blend it in a bit. Okay, so right, so we're good to go. Now the last thing there, but it is, before we start to drawing out, it is very important, is which is the front and the side views. So this A is the front and the side view is looking in from here. So we know now the side view is going to, it's looking to the left, so it's going to be drawn on the left. So I'm expecting people now to be after getting a bit better at the front, top and side views. Here's our ground. Now, just to remember 1 or 2 measurements there. So it's 80 wide, 60 deep, 45 high. So 80 wide. So I want to start this over here close, 80 wide, 45 high. So there's our front view, and the step up here was 15 for this step up here was 15. So I'll put that on light, and it was coming in here 20 and 20. So just put a dot 20 and a dot 20, and they go up. And then these next 2 were 12 and 12. So I'm going to fill in that space in the middle as well. Okay, so I'm going to not do the colouring of this a while, but that's green. that would be pink. The edge up here is blue, and the red. The only one I will put in, I think, is I will just put in the red here, alright. So I'll finish it off in a minute, but I'll just start that off there. That there is our slopey surface going up here. Now, that's the front view. Project down our lines for the top view. Leave about 20 here. Now from the very front to the very back was 60. So again, we want to project these down light. Now, the cuts here, we're going to the middle, which is 30. So that is going to here. The other side, I'll just mark that across. So there's the two cuts, and finally I just heavy in the red slope, which is going to look like this. So again, I'll just mark in that slope here. That is going to be all red there. Now finally, for 45 degree set square, so we project these over, and I'm going to bring this center one as well, and then up. Heights across. Now looking in from the side, I'm going to see this big yellow L first of all. So it goes all the ways up. So now I'm going to just do the L first, even though I could have heavied in the whole rectangle, and maybe I should have. The side view is a bit tricky. So look, there is the L. Now next I'm going to see the pink. So I can complete now my rectangle here, because that's going to look like that. That's the pink. Now, the one thing there, and it says it now on the question. I'll just go back to the questionnaire for a second. Okay, so it says, now, there is one hidden line in your answer. Now, the hidden line is that sloping trench taken out of this, looking in from the side. So, we need to show that with a dotted line. And we know it goes from the very top here down to the up 15 down there. So it's, whoa. So it's going from here down to there in the side view. And that's a heavy dotted line. So I'm going to leave people to sorry, to do the rest of the colouring and stuff there. I will pause this. So I have most of the main colours on here now. The top of this now is blue, but interestingly there should be a red bit in the centre though, or the blue doesn't go all the way across because of that trench. Now the yellow at the side there's green along the front. Now I won't, I think, bother putting in all of the colours here now, but I think it's good to put in a few. So that green runs all the way along the front, and when you follow that over in the side view, that green would be there. The blue would be along here. So let's put in a few of them anyway, and the last one I will put in is that pink surface there. I will put this one in, alright. That. And we don't know what colour this is, but look, if you wanted to be symmetrical, because the rest of it is, if you wanted to, you could decide, well, that's probably, you could say, look, that one's pink as well. Even though we don't know for sure because we can't see it. So I'll just label these drawings here now to finish. So here's our front. Here's our top view, which is also called a plan, is a top view. And here's our end view. Now that could be also called a side view. So front view is called elevation sometimes, top view is called plan, side view is called end view, and this is our 3D. So I look forward to seeing them. Best of luck.